What's up, everybody? Welcome back to 2nd Street. I hope you're all having a very good day today. Here we are. Oh man, wrong saying. Here we are on Loki Wednesdays. I hope you're all having a very good day today. I hope you got a chance to watch Loki. We're going to talk a little bit about the episode today and probably talk about some other things as well, just some speculation and things like that. Before we get into all that, make sure that you give this video a like, give it a thumbs down if you want. It's all good. You're not going to upset me. Make sure you share it out with your friends and tell them to come hang out with us here. Come hang out with you, all these great people here in the chat. Make sure you come hang out. Make sure you come hang out and collect your Myrtle Bit. Myrtle Bit is how you get entered into the giveaways that we will be doing here on the channel. We also got giveaways that we're doing for channel members as well. What we do, the Immortal Myrtle Maniacs, with that money, we go and we do some crowdfunding of comics. We've got some books getting ready to come in the mail today. But we've also got this right here, this copy of Lady Death that is going to be given to one of our channel members. So, you know, I send stuff to our channel members all the time. Recently, I sent a copy of The Resistance Volume 1 out to one of our great supporters, Obi-Wan the Homie, aka Beskar Batman. Just send it out to him. Just send it out to him. I like sending people stuff, especially people that are here supporting the channel. Thank you so much. But also, if you're not one of the Immortal Myrtle Maniacs, that's okay. You can just be one of the Myrtle Maniacs hanging out with all these great people in the chats, and you get entered into giveaways like things like this Baby Teeth, this David Barron variant there. That is Brave New World Comics down in Santa Clarita. That is a shop exclusive that they had done. You can also find that on their website. We're also giving away this right here. This is Canto 2, The Hollow Men, signed by David Boer himself, the writer. This is part of Collector's Paradise down in, what is that, Lake Balboa? No, it's not Lake Balboa. I know it's on Winnetka, down in like the greater San Fernando Valley area, Sherman Oaks area, right around there, you know, Reseda area. Well, yeah, if you're in the LA area, chances are you probably know where I'm talking about. But they've also got 3 different shops as well. They got one in North Hollywood as well as Pasadena. But they call this their signature series, where they have artists come in and sign a bunch of books and they sell them to you. And they didn't charge more for it. It was that, you know, as a matter of fact, I got a discount on it because they have this, when you sign up and do this little, their little club, every time you buy a trade paperback, you get a certain percentage off of that back for your next purchase. So, hey, if you're ever there, check it out. I'm not sure if they do online sales, but you can certainly always check them out. Collector's Paradise. Now, the other thing I'm going to be giving away, just to one of our, just people like you, if you're not one of the Immortal Myrtle Maniacs, you don't want to support the channel with your hard-earned dollars, but you want to support the channel with your watch time and hanging out here with us and all the great people, you also get entered into this. This is 2 Stories by Zarek, award-winning cartoonist Joshua Kemble. This is an absolutely great book. We'll probably talk a little bit more about this in a little while. But let's go ahead and get right into today's main topic. We want to talk about Loki. Episode 4, The Nexus Event. This is the episode that pretty much is the end of your Act 2, if you will. Now we're climaxing here through the end. These last 2 episodes, it's all going to come to a head, and it's all going to finish out. And we're going to see how this thing leads into Doctor Strange 2, Spider-Man. What else is coming up? Well, I wonder, you know, I don't hear anybody talking about how this show is going to maybe tie into the Eternals. Isn't that weird? Isn't that weird? Is it just cause we don't know about the Eternals? Is that what it is? Are we a bunch of normies? Hey, I am. I'll admit to you, I am. I don't know nothing about the Eternals. I don't know nothing about the Eternals. So, hey, I know they exist. I know they exist. I mean, I could go to Wikipedia and act like a genius. That's not what I'm here for. But I'm wondering how much of this might tie into that. Now, getting here into episode 4, the Nexus Event, when we last left Loki, the Lokis, on the planet of Lamentus 1. Was it Lamentus 1? Something like that. 7? 1? Nah. I don't think it really matters, to be honest with you. When we last left them at the end of the last episode, we seen them there doomed with death and destruction. But we see at the very beginning of this episode, wow, just like I predicted, the Lokis got saved. Or did they? We see the Lokis here. They once again get caught by the TVA. They get pulled in, questioned. The story really moves forward in this episode. A lot of things came out of this episode. This is no spoiler. We'll get into some spoilers here in a minute. A lot of things came out of this episode. Let's say it was pretty big. I think this might be one of the best episodes that has come out in the MCU, Disney Plus series. Like, this episode is pretty damn good, right? It's pretty damn good. I really felt like, I don't know, like, not that we necessarily learned a lot about exactly what's going on, other than things we already suspected, but we definitely had a progression throughout this whole episode, and it was really great. We got to see cameos, a cameo. Yeah, Lady Sif made a comeback. Whew, seeing Jamie Alexander in there. That was great. Seeing that flashing back to memory. It would have been a memory of his younger self. Very good stuff here in this episode. Altogether, I mean, I've got like this episode of all episodes was probably a 10 out of 10. All right. Now, the one thing I want to talk about is I think this episode is absolutely great. Let me know what you thought about it down in the comments below. Let me know. Let me know what you rate this episode. Because I thought this one was, like I said, this is probably the best television that the MCU has done so far. Even any of the CG and stuff was fairly decent. I mean, there was like, we could get nitpicky about some of this stuff, but I thought it was pretty good. Obviously, I mean, there's so many parallels to things in the show, but yeah, I think this episode was definitely one of the better episodes that we've gotten here. A lot of strange things in this episode, right? A lot of strange things. Let's get into the chats here and see what everybody's saying. Captain Pennsylvania, my man, what is up? He says, went from worst Disney Plus episode overall to my favorite. Yeah, there you go. Geeky Gambit, thank you so much for being here. Think is this the first time I'm seeing you in our chat? I think so. Thank you so much for being here. Says, hey-oh, I'm about to pass out, still haven't slept, but I'll come back for the replay. Have a good stream, man. Loki is wild, yo. Thank you so much for being here. Enjoy some sleep. Definitely get some sleep. You're gonna need that. Get some good rest. You know, people underestimate rest. It's the most important thing, especially at times like right now. In case you guys don't know, the Tour de France just started 4 days ago. It's its fifth day right now because it started on Saturday. Had stage 1 on Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. So today was stage 5. It was the time trial, right? It was the time trials, and the time trials they can be boring to watch if you're not really into it, but some great stuff going on today. This is where the men and the boys are separated as far as racing the clock. You get a lot of measurements out of that, you know, sizing people up and how they're going to be feeling. But one of the most important things is recovery when it comes to what they're doing there for 21 days. And man, today was a very exciting finish. It's kind of why we're a little bit delayed here getting the stream started. Aggressively Relaxing says, I'm an award-winning artist. I mean, I haven't won any awards for my art, but I've won awards and I make art. Hey man, that's fair enough, guys. If you're not already, you should probably definitely go subscribe to my man Aggressively Relaxing. Very great dude. Lord Vito, thank you so much for being here. Cap says, bro, if you wiki, you will seem smart, right? Hey, it works for Josh, right? And Lavis. I'm kidding. Or am I? That son of a bitch does it right on air. He screen shares. She ain't got no shame, man. Josh ain't got no shame. For Casquela Lopez, thank you so much for being here. Says, hey guys, just wanted to say hi. I haven't watched the episode yet, so I'm out of here. All right. Well, thank you so much for being here. Yeah, make sure you come back, watch on the replay, or leave it. Just turn it down and watch in the background. Turn it down and watch in the background, or listen, or you don't even listen in. Just turn it down. So you can get your Myrtle bit. Aggressively relaxed says, you want to know about the Eternals? What do you need to know, homie? I got you. All right, man. All right. For sure. Yeah, make sure you go subscribe to my man, Aggressively Relaxing. Make sure you go subscribe over there. Drop that link over there. Hey, look, I just pinned it. So one of the big things I thought was funny coming out of last week was, remember last week? Remember that train sequence when they were on the train on Lamentus? And Loki, you know, they were having a, how would you say? Maybe on the train they were having a shared moment between the Lokis here. And yes, I'm calling them the Lokis. I'm not saying Lady Loki. I'm not saying anything else. Look, this is Loki, damn it. Right? Isn't that what we're supposed to be at? Isn't that where we're at? Hashtag progress. This is Loki. Deal with it. Deal with it. All right? I'm just saying, look, I'm just saying. But here's the thing. Here's the reason why I'm saying doing it. Deal with it. All right? Just deal with it. Because through this episode, remember last week they were having that talk on the train about Loki and his loves, his past loves? I even insinuated last week that it was his brother. But we all know who it really is, right? And it really came out in this episode. He really came out in this episode. We all know, I mean, he said it. They even showed it. Loki is in love with Loki. He's a narcissist. He's in love with himself. He's in love with himself. Like, you get it? There we go. I mean, but of course, you know, I know. People will still be out there championing that, and that's okay. Hey, you know what? You should love yourself. Let's move on. There was some great interactions in this episode with Loki and Mobius. We've really seen these characters together here throughout this episode. Their interactions between Loki and Mobius were very, I don't know, I just thought their interactions were done really well. Where Owen Wilson he's sitting there doing his job, but he still has his own suspicions of everything going on. He still has things he wants. You could tell that he obviously wants to meet these timekeepers, right? Where Renslayer, this woman that he supposedly feels, you know, we see it seems like they have feelings for each other. You know, like Mobius. Come on, what's going on here? Like Mobius likes her. Dude, there we go. And like they kind of got this whole, you know, you see him unwinding in this episode a little bit more too, like we got in the last episode. Wasn't that the last episode? It might have been the episode before that. And it was just for some very good stuff here, as we've seen Mobius start to become, you know, he started to suspect things. We also seen the other agent, the time agent, who was, you know, kind of becoming suspicious after she had seen the other agent who had got caught and enchanted by Loki. There was a lot of stuff going on there with their memories, and she was talking about when she got enchanted and how she, you know, she was like, man, like these memories, like this life, you know, she began to question and suspect these things too, and it all kind of came out in this episode that they were all variants pulled from different timelines. They weren't created by the TVA or anything either. Which is definitely something I remember talking about on episode 1. Like, okay, like they created them. That just seems like a little weird. One of the other things I also talked about was how maybe because like I kind of suspect that anyway. Like I think we all did that these people were probably all variants that came to work for the TVA. We see in the episodes. Like, they literally tried to onboard Loki. They gave him a jacket, TVA jacket and everything. Sure, it says variant on there, but they're all variants. They just didn't know it. right? And that was one of the things I talked about was like, I feel like what they were doing was like, that's the initiation to get them in. Because one of the other things too is if these people are all variants, and tell me I'm wrong here. Tell me I'm wrong here because it would seem, I mean, maybe it's just me. If all these people were pulled from their respective timelines, they were all variants. I mean, if they were variants that were causing Nexus events, does that not make them Nexus beings? Are they? I don't know. I mean, that's just something I was kind of thinking about. Like, are they Nexus beings then? Because like we see if they causing Nexus events, you know. And remember the commercial from WandaVision? Oh, so you think the world revolves around you? Maybe it does. You know, and all of that. I mean, that's kind of what we're talking about here with all these different variants, right? Is they're essentially causing these Nexus events, and they've got to be trimmed. So, does that not make them Nexus beings? And maybe what's happening here is the TVA is trying to regulate these Nexus beings, obviously, right? But they haven't called them that. They haven't called any of them that yet. We've only had people calling them variants, right? We've only been calling them variants. And I'm kind of feeling at this point like these are Nexus beings and they're being trimmed from these timelines. And is that necessarily a bad thing? Well, we don't know. Who's in charge of saying things are good or bad, right? You know, what do you do? I protect your reality, douchebag. So there's I don't know, if you ask me, I think there's kind of a lot going on there with those kinds of things. But also, again, getting back into the to just some of these other things here, as the TVA, they are starting to question things. We've seen that Loki had some interactions here. Some of those great interactions with him and Owen Wilson, where he started to question too the TVA and their intent, and he actually went and stole the highly technological yet completely old-looking technological Palm Pilot, and he stole Renslayer's thing, and he went and he was checking out. He was checking out the files and everything. Very interesting stuff there. As he began to become suspicious, we've seen the other agent who got suspicious too. Went and talked to Loki, and it's like, hey, you know, show me my past. Very interesting stuff. Very interesting stuff going on in this episode. Kind of everything coming to a head as we head into these last couple of episodes. Now, we also there was so many things in this episode that were like, I don't know, they remind me of so many different things out there, right? Different things. And also, I mean, even like, where was the TVA with Wanda? Was she not creating that's kind of, anyway, this is going to bring us into something I want to talk about as well. We see that there was when they finally got caught, the Lokis got caught. They got brought in for questioning and everything. They actually had to go meet the timekeepers for judgment. I thought this was a little weird. It doesn't seem like this is something that happens to a lot of the variants. I mean, why would it? Or should we say the Nexus beings? Who is that Nexus? Like, who are these guys? Like, who was the guy they brought in that first episode? Now I'm wondering. You know what I mean? The guy who didn't want to grab a ticket? Who was that guy? You know? What reality was he from that he was a Nexus being? I mean, he looked human. He looked like he was dressed in human clothes, like Earthling clothes. So, I mean, my guess is that he was an Earthling. We seen a scroll there, right? The scroll was wearing Adidas gear too. Odd, right? The scroll was wearing Adidas gear. Yeah. So, I mean, to me, that just kind of means that scroll was probably on Earth. I mean, I doubt they have Adidas in a galaxy Cut it. We know about that. We know about how that scene reminded you. Anyway, we see that the Lokis finally got a meeting with the timekeepers. This is something Loki's wanted the whole time, is this meeting with the timekeepers. But not before we learned about some of the events here. You know, all of these things, you know, were they resetting them charges too? You know, it's very interesting. You know, what exactly happens with all of that? Because, you know, when we see set the charges, it kind of resets everything that these people touched. Now, it makes me wonder about people that seen them. Does it, like the people that seen that they interacted, does it just reset their memories? Does it just like, don't look, you know, look into this light? Does it just reset their memories so they don't remember any of that stuff that happened? Like it completely zeroes them out? Or does it kill them too? Right? Because if it killed those people too, that wouldn't be resetting everything. I mean, it would, you know what I mean? Like it would, everything would be different. It would be a completely different branch timeline. We also seen that the Loki falling in love with himself was causing a branch as well. Was causing a branch. Now it was interesting too when we started to see this. They were monitoring. We seen that agent in Mobius there. They were monitoring the sacred timeline. We seen a couple different names flashed up there on the screen. I can't remember if I even did I get a screenshot of that? I want to say that I did. Let me see here. Oh no, that was a good one though. I like that one. Yeah, there we go. Here, let's get into this. Let me pull this thing up, and we will show you this here in just a second. Let me get this this picture up here for you. Where we at? Okay. We're gonna have to see if we can pull this image up here for you. There we go. There we go. Okay. This is probably going to take up the, yeah, of course, it's going to take up the whole dang screen. It's going to take up the whole dang screen. That's all right, though. That's all right. That's all right. There we go. Let's go ahead and let's get into this right here. Not that one. Dang, not that one. Not. Come on. There we go. There we go. Check this out right here. What we got? We got Wrightsville, PA. 1/6/1832. What happened? What was going on in Wrightsville, PA? 1/6/1832. Interesting. Morag. And it's interesting, the destination of Morag. See the number there it has there where it looks like we got a calendar year here for Wrightsville, PA. Right up there, the top of that screen. And Morag, it shows 3489.345/6543.2741. Very interesting. Oh, you know what? Here, let me see if I can blow this up. I don't know if I can show it any bigger. But if you look up here as well, you also see that it's got Sakaar. It's got Sakaar on there. Loki was on Sakaar at one point. So was Hulk, Thor. And remember, there was somewhat of a time lapse from when Loki arrived to when Thor arrived, even though they both kind of flew out of the Rainbow Bridge at the same time. Oh, look at that other name up there. Alberta, Canada. Wow. I wonder what's going on in Alberta, Canada. Very interesting. Oh, preview timeline 395. Huh. Is that what that is? Is this the PRVWTML 395? I don't know, man. I don't know how to read. What does all that mean? I mean, does any of it mean anything? Does it? Don't forget to check your Myrtle bit while you're here. Don't forget to check your Myrtle bit. You can see there. What's going on? What's going on in Alberta, Canada? I'm very curious. I'm very curious. And do we have any historians seriously that knows what was going on in Wrightsville, PA, 1832? I mean, okay, let's see. Let me go. I mean, should we search that? Should we Wikipedia that? We could probably Wikipedia that. Okay. Wrightsville. And if you live near Wrightsville, let me know. Ville, PA. 1832. Yeah, there we go. Let's see. What's going on here? What is this? 1832. The first bridge, completed in 1814, was destroyed by ice and a flood in 1832. I wonder when that was. I don't know. Let's see. Let's see if we can 01 06 1830. There we go. What? PA? Did I not save that? Probably so. What timeline are we in? I don't know, and that's what I'm saying. Up there it says PRVW TML 395, right? Okay. Right, the Columbia Wrightsville Bridge, officially Veterans Memorial Bridge. No, that wouldn't be it. That's not it. Interesting. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm looking and I'm not seeing anything in particular, other than I wonder what was, if it had anything to do with that bridge. I don't know. But that's, I mean, if it says it was happened in winter time, so that would seem to make sense. That would seem to make sense. In the early 1800s, it was common for over 150 wagons to descend upon Columbia. First bridge, 1814 to 1832, wooden covered bridge, constructed 1812 to 1814. Location, a quarter-mile north of Route 462 bridge. The thick ice hardened in the winter of 1832. A spring thaw came quickly in February, causing ice to break up and flow down the river. The ice jammed up the south of Columbia, creating a natural dam. Water and ice rose up and lifted the bridge off the piers. Although many believe this is the image of the first bridge, the artist H.W. Bartlett traveled to America. Okay, that's something else. And then there was a second bridge in 1834 to 1863. Interesting. Interesting, isn't it? Okay. Are they giving us history lessons? But remember in the other trailer, they gave us the whole thing about remember the ship? Remember the ship? Remember the ship on the trailer that came out? Oh, and let's not talk about that little smudge on WandaVision. I think Eric Voss over at New Rockstars actually got it right. Instead of copying my shit for once, he actually got something right. Hey, don't act like you don't know that's what he did. He comes over here and he steals my shit. It's all good. But anyway, remember, yeah, what was the one we were talking about last week, or at the beginning of the week, that we had started off, the USS Eldridge. Yeah, and of course that was just in the 40s though. That was in yeah. Interesting. The Philadelphia experiment, isn't that what it was called? Interesting. Ship that. And remember in the trailer, it kind of like rose up out of that ice. And then we get this thing right here that's talking about basically in the winter time of 1832 when they had this bridge that got destroyed by the ice and everything. Believe me, I won't pretend to know anything about it. I don't. You were just here with me, and we Wikipedia'd that. You look, you notice how we just Wikipedia'd some history stuff. We didn't actually Wikipedia some nerdy shit. You know what I mean? Like, you can go Wikipedia for yourself. Just go read some comic books, though. It's just much better. They show you stuff. They show you stuff in those comic books. You know what? Speaking of showing me stuff, let's get here into the chats as I kind of look up some of these things that I wanted to check out. Some of these comic books I was reading on Marvel, on that unlimited service they have. Let's see who all we've got here. We've got my man Mike Porter, one of the immortal Myrtle Maniacs, and look at that beautiful badge he's got there. Look at that beautiful badge. Worldwide, baby. Worldwide, baby. Yeah. Yeah, my man Mike Porter. Burke the Nerd, Daniel Fisher, my man Adam from Dude of Reviews. We're going to get together one of these days, dude. We got Nicky here, Captain Pennsylvania, my man. My man, and aggressively relaxing. Hope you're still in the building. I see we've got some great people here. We got some very good people hanging out. Okay. Cap says, I would definitely fall for female me too. I mean, it's just masturbation, right? Right. Absolutely. Essentially. Self-gratification, right? Mike Porter says, if they would have let them die on Lamentis, then they wouldn't have to worry about them in the timeline they made. Yeah, absolutely. Problem would have been over. Exactly. They could have, and that's the point. That was why she was hanging out in those Nexus events, was because, they couldn't detect her. But they caused, but see, that was the weird thing, is how'd they cause, that's weird. Because it must be in the timeline of Loki that exists that he falls in love with himself and causes that branch, because that branch started for them to notice because it was something that was going to affect the larger timeline, right? They were, but yeah. What PA? Yeah. No, you didn't save that area in that year, Cap. Where that's at in PA? Okay. Well, it's probably because it got destroyed by winter. What timeline? Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. The timeline we're in, dude, you got me. Daniel Fisher, thank you so much for being here. Howdy to you as well. Mike Porter says Sakaar is the trash planet where things fall from the universe. It could be at the end of episode 4. End credit scene. It could be in Sakaar. It could be apocalyptic New York. Yeah, certainly there at the end, the bonus scene that we got there, which was really great. We got all the different Lokis there. That was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. I've never seen the version of Loki. I've never seen that version of Loki, the big black dude Loki with the hammer, like that looked like it was made from like maybe partially a piston and something else. I've never seen that Loki before. Like I said, I'm no kind of Loki professional or anything. I'm not a huge fan. I'm not a big fan. What do I do with my water? Look. Guess I have to drink my water that I took with me. My ride. But yeah, the definitely in that scene, and that was great seeing Richard E. Grant in that old school, like it looked like a cosplay, right? Did that not look like a cosplay suit? Fucking love it. That was great, dude. That suit was freaking great. I don't know anything about Alligator Loki. Do you know about Alligator Loki? I don't know about Alligator Loki. I'm waiting for that dude to talk. I'm waiting for that alligator to talk. And then the little kid Loki we seen there as well. How do we know that wasn't a Loki variant that was... Well, anyway. Yeah. Very, very interesting stuff there. Very interesting stuff. But yeah, the end of episode 4 credit scene could be in Sakaar, could be yeah. I'm pretty sure it's New York. It looked like essentially like the kind of like the Battle of New York, but like we're an apocalypse had happened, and it made you think like, okay, was that actually Avengers Tower at that point? Was that from like say the time say Loki won the Battle of New York? Could that be what that kind of timeline was? Obviously, we see the Lokis here all kind of converging together to work with one another. This is essentially what we're talking about here, because don't think they're not obviously going to save the other Loki as well. Some very interesting stuff about once they actually got to meet those the timekeepers as well. Where I know I'm not the only one who saw those timekeepers, seen how they were dressed, seen their little head things, and then I know you were thinking the same thing. These look like Kang. They look like they're modeled after Kang. I mean, look at them. Look at them. They look like they're modeled after Kang. And very interesting. You throw the sword and chop off one of their heads, and they're like, arr, arr, like chop off one head and they all die? That's like the opposite of Hydra. Oh, man. Lame. Cut off one head. Two more shall take its place. Hail Hydra. And the great Dr. Arnim Zola. Hashtag Stark Sham. Anyway, sorry. Must have been the programming kicking in. Where were we? Anyway, they go and they kill, they defeated the Time Lords. Oh my God, we can see, they were robots, right? What kind of robots were these? What kind of robots were these? I remember there was somebody else who was trying to build a robot. Trying to dissect a robot. Trying to create their own robot. And they did it. And it even really had like this little blue kind of Stark looking, like it was all white, and it called itself Vision. It was White Vision. Interesting, right? Oh dang, this thing finally loaded up. Sorry. Do I need to? No. All right. Yeah, here we go. We need to look this stuff up. Let's get back here into the chat. But yeah, I think that was definitely New York. Trinity showing his guns to fight the Myrtle Time Lords. Yep. Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. I think the problem was they didn't know they broke their tempad. They didn't know they broke their tempad. Who? Who didn't know that? The TVA? Avengers Tower in the background. Yeah, definitely. A year since I have become a member. Got a new badge. And now since I am a member, I will spam the chat with my members only spam. Yeah. Budgie Smuggler Suit. Budgie Smuggler Suit? What are you talking about? What? Okay, Vulcan, say that Loki is a Chinese what? That's something else. You're mixing news. You're mixing news cycles there, Dixie. You're mixing news cycles. Yeah, it's the Florida variant. I seen that, Nikki. The Florida variant of Loki. Yeah, absolutely. Hail Hydra. Yeah, absolutely. Definitely can't trust any Stark. Yeah. Hank Pym always said you never could trust a Stark. Okay, so my library. Where are we at here? Where is this particular issue? It's not that. Where are we at here? There was this. Man, where's it at? There was a story here where it can't be. It's not that new. It's not that new. Where's it at? Dang it! I know I had it. I know I had it saved on here. Champions, Avengers. Here we go. Which issues was it? Man, give me issue numbers here. One of these books I was reading where you actually had Immortus was actually working with somebody else, and it actually had something to do with Vision as well. And that's one of the things I'm kind of getting to here is we see that, remember, they had these androids, and maybe these Time Lords that they had there, these puppets essentially, were actually maybe the same kind of thing like Vision was, but they weren't autonomous. They were actually under control, which is what what's the name was trying to do with Vision. was trying to create a weapon. We're here, they're not necessarily trying to create a weapon. And it's very interesting too, like who would do that? And did we not see the room they stepped into with all the steps and everything? It reminds you of that painting. You know what I'm talking about, right? With all the different, you know. And are we not going to talk? I know. Are we not going to talk about? I heard Josh mention it on his stream about the parallels to the throne room sequence, Star Wars. It was pretty close. It was pretty similar, man. It was pretty similar. It was similar. Okay. Dang it, what issue is this? Not issue 125? It wasn't issue 125. Dang it, I wish I could find this issue. Is this it? Is this it? 185. It might be. It might be. Nah, maybe not. Maybe not. It was somewhere around. Man. Keep reading. Oh, man. I wish I could find it. But one of the things they were doing was they were there in time, and they were kind of going through history at different points. One of the things they were kind of at and dealing with was the assassination on JFK, and it had to do with Kang, or Immortus in this case. Dang it, I can't find it. I want to spend all day looking for it as well. But I don't know, man. There's just a whole lot of interesting things going on here with that, because you know, just seeing these droids and everything like that, where we see that it's not actually the timekeepers. We know it's obviously somebody else in control of them, but who is it? Who is it? I mean, that Salvador Dali painting? Is that who done it? Is that who done it? The one with all the staircases and all that shit? Yeah, yeah. Richard E. Grant suit, British expression maybe. I mean, you can't see his package in his suit. What are you talking? Oh man. But okay, yeah, okay. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. The suit. All right, that's what you. Okay, British expression, man. Okay, I got it. I got you. Okay, yeah. Yeah, he was definitely. Yeah, he was definitely trying to show off. They went in to see the timekeepers. I thought of Bill and Ted meeting the people from the future. Right. Absolutely. So I don't know. A lot of interesting things going on throughout this whole episode that we get to build on here in these last couple of episodes before this series comes to an end. And that bonus scene, you know, obviously I think that means we're all going to be looking out on these next two episodes to have these mid-credit scenes or end-credit scenes as well. So yeah. But anyway, guys, I don't really have much else right now. Probably going to end the stream here in just a minute. If you have any questions or anything, let me know down in the chats. And yeah. Other than that, you know, everything else is, you know, not talking about this episode. Been here doing. In case you guys don't know, I am a cyclist and enjoyed cycling. Like every year, I've always done this Tour de France challenge. The only times I haven't done it is the past 2 years. But every year, I generally do this Tour de France challenge where I go out and try to ride half the miles of that the riders do in the Tour de France. Now, I've been putting in some pretty regular rides and everything, but not enough to really build a solid base for where I'm at right now. But the Tour de France, I thought it started this coming weekend. The Tour de France just started last Saturday. So I've been riding every day since then. Every single day since then, I've been out on my bike riding. It takes 21 days. You know, what does it take 21 days to do? Well, it takes 21 days to crown a champion in the Tour de France. "21 days to put on that final yellow jersey." Right? There's other jerseys out there, but the Maillot Jaune is the most highly coveted of them all. So yeah, it's been 5 days. Been 5 days. Been putting in, getting in these rides. Gonna building some base up. Been getting some footage while I'm out there riding. We're gonna do some videos and shit like that. Like I've got some other footage and shit shot. I've just been so busy here lately with my business and everything, getting ready for summer here, that I haven't got a chance. And I'm gonna eventually show you guys some of that stuff as well that's been going on as well. Let's see. The staircase was MC. Okay. When was okay? MC Escher. Okay. All right. Yeah. Will Morgan says the TVA turns out to be a Chuck E. Cheese, right? Yeah, for sure. Prefer question? The questions? Yeah. We don't have no stinking questions. Jedi Jen, thank you so much for being here. Burke the nurse says, what were your thoughts on the sign lady at Tour de France? The sign lady. Oh, which I didn't see it. Like which sign lady at the very end when they were? I missed it. I must have missed. I'm gonna have to go watch. I have to go watch the replay now. I'm gonna have to go watch it again. I'm gonna have to go watch it again. You got me. Dang it. Why was like I don't know what the sign lady. I'm not sure which one it was. You're gonna have to put it in the comments. I'm sure they'll talk about it. On the on highlights and stuff. No, that's not true, Dixie. Beware the cheesekeepers. Yes. Yeah, I must have missed that Burke the nerd. I was just listening in because like today was all the time trials. It was all time trials, which can be some exciting stuff if you're really into that. But yeah. So yeah, here we are, 5 days in, feeling pretty good, and that's the terrible thing, because 5 days in, you always feel good. You know when you start to not feel good? Next week, when you're 2 weeks in. I remember the first year that I actually completed my Tour de France challenge. I did it like 3 years consecutive, half the miles they do in the Tour de France, easy. Like, did it like 3 years in a row. Which I know, like, it doesn't sound like much, but it ends up being like 300 and some miles a week of riding. Like 300 and some miles a week. But I mean, not only that, like, I remember the first year. I remember I was going into, I think the third week. I was kind of towards the end of the second week, and like, I took my kids to the theater. We were at the movie theater, and I was sitting there in the theater, and like my legs just like I could feel my legs like it's really weird what your body does, right? Through things like this, because doing something like that, is, especially as grueling as they do for 21 days, is rough. And the thing is, like, anybody could go out and ride a lot of these miles. The hard thing about what I do when I'm doing these challenges is most of those miles are done alone, right? Even the guys that I would normally ride with and everything, that we'd go and do like our Tuesdays and Thursday rides, we'd get together for like Saturdays, maybe a Sunday ride. That's like 3 days out of the week. 4 days out of the week, I'm riding completely alone. But not only that, for the most part, when I would go out on these Tuesday and Wednesday rides with all the other guys, I would actually have to go ride and warm up, because you get like, once you're that deep in, once you're more than a week, once you hit, like, after you hit that first rest day or so, once you're like a good 10 days in, you got to warm those legs up to even get like, to get them going, to get your heart rate going, to get your legs to want to move. I'm telling you, man, it's grueling. And especially like, cause like I do rides in the morning, like when they do the tour, like they wake up, they got their morning, they get fueled, they get ready. They probably go ride in the morning to loosen up. And then, you know, just spinning the legs, nothing hard. And then they go and, you know, later, they go usually a little bit later in their day. So that's one of the other things too. And because one of the key things is recovery. That's like what all the doping is all about. People have a lot of misconceptions about that kind of stuff, because it's all about recovery. That's all it's about. And when they're doing that, that's what they're doing, is just trying to recover, right? And that's essentially what a lot of like even bodybuilders, when they're doing it too. It's like recovery. It's all about recovery. It's all about that R&R. But yeah, so yeah, here we are, 5 days in. It's been good. It's been great. 21 days to watch all MCU content. Yes. Yes, Mike Porter, there you go. Right, 21 days to watch all the movies and sneak in some episodes in between. Let's see. Where did she was the lady who was holding a sign and caused a massive crash. They were trying to find. Oh yeah. That lady. Man, that was messed up, man. And you know what? There's been a lot of carnage, and there always is. In the first few, but these ones have been ridiculously crazy. But there's a lot of those. I remember, God, man, what was it? It's probably been 10 years ago. One year, one of the guys who was driving not a team car, it was one of the UCI cars, dude. He fucking hit one of the riders. Two of them. There was two of them driving down the road, and he was coming up the road, and I think there was the bike riders were over here, and I can't remember what was coming up, if there was some traffic or something over here, or maybe a tree or something, because a narrow road. The car swerved over, and it fucking hit the riders and slammed them into into the ditch and into a fence. Into a fence. These dudes, and you know what? After being hit by a car being thrown into this fence in this field, they both got up, picked up their bikes, got everything sorted out. I think their team cars probably dropped them off new bikes, and they both got up and finished the race and continued to race all the days afterward. Maybe not. I mean, yeah, because a lot of people don't make it to the finish anyway. A lot of people don't make it to the finish anyway. But yeah. She calls the pilot. Yeah, she did. Yeah, because that was what, day 2? That was day 2, right? I think that was day 2. Yeah, crazy stuff. Maybe when the lady held the sign out. And, yeah. That was crazy. Yeah, because I was sitting there because I was sitting there thinking about today. I'm like, a time trial? I don't remember any Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, it made me tired just talking about it. Yeah, it's rough, and that's one of the things. You know what? That's I've got an inversion table. I've got an inversion table over here. I've got my roller here. Everything you can do to recover, you got to do. You got to do it. Even me just going out and doing the little miles I'm doing right now. I'll probably go out and trying to get some more mileage in this weekend as well. Put in some bigger rides than I'm doing right now. But even going out for 90 minutes at a time every single day. Believe me, I used to do that. I literally used to do that every single day, a couple of years ago. That was my daily thing. It was yeah. We're getting back there. But because that's kind of how training blocks go, right? That's how training blocks go. Is you go in just like when you're working out, you go in 3-week segments, right? And you just got to keep going. And that's the thing is you go for these 21 days. You got to dose it out. You got to go hard, but not hard enough that you can't get up and ride the next day. When you get home, you got to fuel yourself the right way. You got to eat the right foods. You got to rest the right way, and plus all these guys are doping too. But that helps. I wouldn't know. I've never done it. But the point being is you got to get home. You got to be smart about it if you want to do it that hard for 21 days. Because there's no other sport out there that does this for 21 days. I would think the closest comparison I could think of to what they're doing here might be Indy 500. Where they're doing 500 laps, that shit is not easy. I know a lot of people are oh, you're sitting there in the car, you're going wee. Yeah, no, that shit's hard. That's not easy to do. And would you know that many NASCAR drivers, many even motocross racers, they all cycle. Because anyway. But you certainly always have to you're always thinking about recovery and stuff like that. You got to take every chance you can get. Like me, standing here talking to you all instead of resting, sitting down. But one of the things is though, it's certainly recovery, stretching, yoga. Yoga's a lifesaver, man. It's the best. Mike Porter says, any drug doping or blood doping this year? I like watching the tour. I had no idea that it has already started. Yeah. I thought it was going to start this weekend, but it started last weekend. Nothing yet that I know of. But look, it's hard to deny that they're not all doing it. If supposedly after the Lance Armstrong thing, and if they're not all doping, how come the race times keep getting faster? Like, biotechnology and all the things that they're doing with out there with all these athletes, testing them and everything and all that stuff, like as far like testing them, like their time trials, trying to get all those little increases in speed, the technology of the bikes and all that stuff. Bike races don't continually get faster with each passing year because you learned how to eat properly and have the best, most aero, lightest bike and everything. It's because you still have to have your bike weigh at least so much to even be able to race. If it's too light, they won't let you use it. And I like, all right. I honestly, I don't care. I don't care what they say. Like, there's, yeah. And the thing is like I said, it's not something that they have to do all the time. When they really have to do it is when it really counts, which is times like this. On a 1 week race, unless there's something that like they would really have no reason to, because just going 1 week on a lot of like the 1 week tours and stuff like that, they have time to recover. On days when you're having just the 1 day races, what do you like? You only need to be prepared throughout the week and make sure that you're getting all your training in and everything throughout the week and peaking out at the right time and having the proper rest. Like it's not rocket science. You know, they don't need any of that stuff most of the time, right? But to get those gains, that's where they do it. That's where they do it. I am walking 106 kilometers next Saturday. Should do it in about 22 hours. Nice, nice. Walking, huh? All right. Is it like a marathon that they're having? That's cool. That's cool. Hell yeah. You have one of those bicycle seats with the holes in it, so it doesn't squish your balls and give you testicle cancer. Yes, yes, yes. But that's not what does it. That's totally not what does it. Like, bike seats don't cause cancer, Dixie. Like, it's ridiculous. It's absurd. But it could cause other things. I mean, when you're just cutting off blood to certain regions and everything. But that's why when you're out riding, you got to keep moving. You move around too, like and that's why that's what's nice about doing a lot of the different terrain as opposed to what I'm doing right now. Because usually I try to match the terrain of the tour. Like usually the first week and a half or so is a lot of flat routes, and then they get into a lot of climbing later in the second week and then in the third week. And that's when it really hits. But sometimes they do it in the first week, and I know they've had some climbs here already here during the first week. But overall, that's like, I mean, you know, for the most part, you're moving around and stuff. So that's, yeah. Come on, Dixie. Come on, Dixie. I know you're smarter than that. But it's pretty funny to sit here and watch me explain it, though, right? To mansplain it. How's your recovery from Loki last night? I just watched it this morning. Green Bear, thank you so much for being here. I watched it this morning. I woke up at 4:30, put it on, got ready to go out for my bike ride this morning. Started warming up, had to, you know, wake up, get the blood flowing, rolled out the legs, kind of rolled out my back a little bit. Yeah, it was great. Thought about the episode while I was out riding, and some lady pulled out in front of me because she was in a hurry, and she turned like right into traffic. And now she didn't almost hit me. Like the only closest she came to hitting me was like I was coming up the road and she made a left in front of me where she had the stop sign. I didn't even have any stop. I had the right of way. But she turned like, and here's the thing is like she fucking seen me. She looked right at me. She fucking looked right at me. And she turns into the lane, but she turns into not the lane going this way, the lane that she needs to be going. She turns into the lane of oncoming traffic. There's fucking cars coming up the road. You know why? Because she just looked that way, make sure, and then she was just gonna go. She was just gonna go, and that's, I mean, pretty much what she did. And she's sitting there right in that fucking lane. I'm like, lady, I'm going like fucking like 25 miles an hour. Right? And the time that you have, like, you gotta like get up on that shit, like get up and go. Like you, like, it's like when these people get onto the freeway. You know when these people get on the little exit to the little entrance to the freeway and they're doing like fucking 30 miles an hour until they get onto the freeway. Then like over the next 5 miles, they finally get up to 65. At least, like even this. Where did we go wrong here? where, where did we go? Where did we go wrong? Check your Myrtle bit, people. Check your privilege. Show us in the chat. You know what? And don't look. I'm telling you, maybe Myrtle's gonna have to step in here and handle stuff again. Maybe Myrtle's gonna have to step in here and handle stuff again. To handle stuff. Okay. Let's see. Okay, sorry, the chat just skipped on me. But yeah, no, Loki was great, man. Loki was great. I watched it this morning at 4:30. It was great. Loved it. Loved it. Great episode. I think this might have been the best episode of MCU Disney Plus streaming. Definitely. And believe me, all these series blow any of that Netflix Marvel bullshit out of the water. That shit was lame. Shit was lame. Don't argue with me. Don't argue with me. I'll have my man Mike Porter boot you. He wouldn't do that. Unless you were being an asshole to him. But even then, he'd probably just be like, hey, bro, calm down. I'm going to time you out. Most of my mods are nice. They'll just time you out and stuff. They'll just time you out. You know, like me, I'm not one of those people. Like, I ask people. I just like, I asked somebody last night. Okay, sorry. It's a marathon for sure. Your body can give out. That's why they do blood doping. It's like a blood transplant of your blood in the start that has more oxygen. Exactly. I actually think they should be able to get blood transplants. Yeah, I mean, and the thing is, like, it's really kind of a disgusting thing, right? But like, that's kind of what, like, I don't know. I mean, you're looking, they're always looking for the advantage and everything and all these things, but I don't know, man. Like, look, I go out and I ride and, you know, you build up your fitness and all that stuff. These guys, no matter what, they're still the best of the best, even without all that shit. They're just a little bit, they just come down. They're still the best. Like, and the thing is, like, when they're out riding, they have like, most of the time, because I was one of the times the tour California came through our town. It's come through here, Palmdale, Lancaster area many a times. But one of the times I was out on Lake Hughes Road, there at the rock store, and they all came by, and I'm sitting there watching the racers coming by and everything, and they're all, and they just came through a good climb too, and coming up from Santa Clarita through Lake Hughes Road. And anyway, and we were riding ahead of them. Like we were a little bit ahead of the race, and we were there at Papa's Market, sitting there, just like getting some water and stuff and chilling until they all came through. But anyway, point being is they were all coming through riding. I'm like, they're not riding that fast. They're not like when we're out riding, when we got a big group of guys, we could probably keep up with them. But the thing is they have the power where it counts. Going up those mountains, doing those climbs, stuff like that, because the repetition and all that stuff they're doing, like that's where it counts, and that is where it counts. That's where and even the guys who aren't the climbers and all that stuff, they're still good at that, because a lot of these people are still flying up some of these mountains like we're climbing out here, going all slow and shit. They're still out there climbing at like 20 miles an hour, like what I do on fucking like flats by myself. You know what I mean? They're doing that in the mountains, right? Of course, they got big groups of guys too sometimes, a lot of the time, so that helps. Let's see. I am still needing a nap. Yeah, I mean, naps can be good. Green Bear enjoyed your stream last night? What stream? What stream? You have a stream? Green Bear? You have a channel, Green Bear? Ah. Daniel Silva says, okay, sorry, Daniel De Silva. I was sitting there trying, like, can I pick out any of these words and see if there's anything that, man, I'm sorry, dude. I don't know how to read Spanish. I'm the worstest. I know. 24 hours out at Le Mans is a much harder race. Okay, yeah, there you go. Yeah, 24 hours, like, staying awake 24 hours can be a challenge in itself, let alone doing that. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there you go, Dixie. You know what I'm talking about. Another bicycle at Trinity episode. Are you not allowed to go out in public anymore? I know, dude. Like, well, as the cycling thing, they're just used to that altogether. And there was really no excuse for it too, because like the sun was coming up that side, so like the sun was shining right on me. So it's not like the sun was shining in her eyes; she couldn't see me. Now, if it was the other way, if she was looking the other way, the sun would probably be in her eyes if I was coming up the other. But it wasn't. It wasn't. Green Bear the Flycatcher. I must have missed something here. You watching that? Oh man, I like WandaVision episode 8. Great, yeah. First season of Jessica Jones was amazing. Yeah, you know what, Peter Ferret? I'm going to agree with you there too. I think the first season of Jessica Jones was probably the best Netflix stuff, Marvel stuff they did. They did. I like the Jessica Jones series more than I like the Daredevil series. The Daredevil series, I think season 2 was pretty good. It was decent, but like overall, it was kind of. I just wasn't feeling any of the Netflix Marvel stuff. And it wasn't for the fact, like, it wasn't any of the actors' faults or anything like that. They did a good job in their roles. It was just, yeah. Yeah. I'm going to cry myself to sleep watching Daredevil now. Oh, man. Mike Moore says, I won't ban you, but if you come in impersonating me, Trinity will. Cough, cough, Parker, cough. Oh, shit. Yeah. Yeah. We don't do the, we don't do any of that stuff here. You know why? Because and the thing is, okay, Green Bear had Chief on. Nice. And fourth wall break. Okay, fourth wall break. All right. As I say, I know I've seen fourth wall break in the chats and shit. So yeah, okay. All right. I have to go check it out. I have to go check that out. Yeah, because too many times we've seen people like they're seeing other people out there in communities and shit doing all that, impersonating other people and all that shit, and like it's never ended good. So when I see it, I'm just like, down, down. Oh man, yeah, we'll have to check that out. Fourth wall break, for sure. Okay, guys, that's all I've got for today. Thank you all so much for being here. And hey, my little episode. Hey, I had an episode of my own a minute ago. But thank you all so much for being here today. You all have a great rest of your day. Let me know what you thought about any of my crazy, wild thoughts here when it comes to some of this stuff, like the whole androids thing. And, we got Vision here, and we got these things that were here. Kind of somebody's messing with robots, right? We're talking about robots, though those ones weren't sentient. Anyway, point being. Let me know what you guys thought about Loki. Let me know what you guys thought about my episode. Let me know anything like that. Sorry, it's been a crazy day. It's been a crazy morning, I guess. But you all have a very good day. Have a great rest of your week. Oh man. Oh, okay. Never mind. What? Yeah. Anyway. All right. You all have a good day. Have a great rest of your week. Make sure that you're subscribed to the channel. Make sure that you turn on your notifications on all that stuff, because tomorrow we're going to be going live at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time for the morning after a new comic book day, where I will talk about and review some comic books for you all live. You all have a good day, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace. Yeah.